Okay, Aquarius. Before I get started with the Aquarius horoscope, I just want to remind you guys that if you're interested in a reading from me, an archetypal astrology reading in which I help you to get in touch with that inner hero that's living within you, and I help you to become the hero and that hero in your own life story. If you're interested in a reading with me where I help you do that, you can check out my website www.thetruestnorth.com. Check out my services and you can get in touch with me there or order a reading there. You can get in touch with me directly as well through my email address, thetruestnorth@gmail.com. You can contact me through my Facebook page, which is The Truest North. I also think you can DM me via Instagram. You can follow me there and DM me if you have any questions about my services. And my Instagram is at The Truest North, and all the links will be in the description below. All right, Aquarius. So the Pluto South Node conjunction at 23 degrees of Capricorn is happening for you in your 12th house all this month, but you're especially going to feel it on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's happening in conjunction with that. It's happening alongside that new moon in Aries, which I'll get to in a minute. But this is purging and letting go happening in the house of purging and letting go. This is happening in your 12th house, the house of the deep unconscious, where we merge with the collective. Where our unconscious desires lay, those unconscious emotional drives that we're not aware of, but that like totally run our life. Hidden fears, self-undoing, the root of self-undoing behaviors is found in the 12th house. Any karmic debts that we have, limitations, expenses. It's where we go to get away from it all. So where we go to escape the responsibilities and the noise of the world. It rules spirituality, meditation, prayer, secluded places. So, monasteries, libraries, prisons, hospitals, spas, retreats. Those are all 12th house things. And our connection to the invisible world is really the 12th house. Our connection that's where we go to meet God, to commune with God. And because it is the collective, it is the house where we have the least personal power. The 12th house, your power is found through surrendering and letting go. And so that is what you are being asked to do here. Surrender and let go of all the unconscious gunk and gook that is no longer needed and that's been hiding down there in your unconscious. I have an Aquarius rising, and really like what I'm finding, and this is happening on my natal South Node at 23 degrees of Capricorn as well. And what I'm finding is it's really about learning how to surrender to a higher power. The 12th house is where you surrender to a higher power. Because when you don't, especially with Pluto there and Saturn there, keeping an eye on you, when you don't, you actually end up like you can end up harming yourself and causing a lot of problems for yourself. Like the 12th house is where we learn to surrender and let go. That is really the theme with Pluto, that Pluto South Node conjunction in Capricorn. And Capricorn is not a sign when it's manifesting at a lower vibratory rate. And like a Pluto South Node conjunction is going to destroy anything that is any crystallized structures of coping or patterns of belief that are in Capricorn that have outworn their use, that are no longer needed. That will be destroyed by Pluto in the South Node. So I'm sure like a lot of unconscious stuff is like bubbling to the surface. You may be limited and restricted and more isolated from other people. You may feel like you lost control, lost your power, but your power is actually in the surrendering itself. So purge, 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 and just let let spirit handle the rest. Like that's really the 12th house. Learn how to let go. Learn how to let go of all those harmful thought patterns and limits and unconscious fears that have been holding you back, because after in the second half of 2020, and then throughout 2021, Saturn and Jupiter are going to move into your first house, Aquarius. And Saturn is the planet that is the chart ruler. Actually, is your chart ruler, the planet that sort of rules over your chart. And so when your chart ruler goes into the first house, that's a whole new beginning for you. And it takes Saturn 30 years to go around the chart. So this is a new beginning that won't happen again for you in 30 years. So the going through the 12th house, you're purging out all that gunk, all that gook that you built up over, at least the past 30 years, so that you can be reborn next year. And you can get started on, a whole new part of your life's path, your life's destiny. And Saturn and Pluto are going to station retrograde, and Pluto the 24th and Saturn the 29th, and they will remain retrograde over the next few months. I think Saturn stations direct in September and Pluto stations direct in October. And planets that appear to be retrograde are closer to the Earth, and therefore they take up they take more attention in our psyche. More conscious attention and focus is needed to get in touch with the archetypal meaning of what those planets stand for. And Saturn is always the structures that we built, and in the 12th house is going to be the psychic structures that we've built. And Pluto is about what needs to be torn down, transformed, and reborn in our lives. And again, any structures that are no longer serving us, and any psychic structures that are no longer serving us, they're going to have to be cleared out, especially when Saturn turns direct and we have that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, 22 to 23 degrees in Capricorn in January 2020. So be ready, Aquarius. Focus on, what it is that you need to review, reevaluate regarding the psychic structures, your spirituality, your spiritual nature, your ability to let go, your ability to go within, to the collective, instead of being concerned about what's going on, out with the rest of the world. And how you, again, the 12th house is really just about, you have Saturn, Pluto in the south node, letting go, in the house of letting go. So it's like a double meeting there. The new moon at 15 degrees of Aries is happening in your third house on April 5th at 4:50 a.m. Eastern. Now, the third house is the house of our thinking, our perception, how we communicate and connect our ideas, exchange information with other people. It's our environment, our daily environment. It is how what was I going to say? It's our relationship with like any small groups that we're a part of, and our siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins. And so the new moon of new beginnings, planting new seeds in the sign of Aries, courageous actions of leadership. It's happening in your third house. So you should take action related to third house topics: thinking, writing, speaking, communicating. You are being supported and courageously venturing into new territory regarding any of those subjects that I just mentioned. So if you want to write a book, if you want to I'm launching a freelance healthcare writing business. If you want to start a new business venture, business commerce is also the business commerce marketing is also the third house. If you want to start a new marketing venture or a new business venture, maybe with a sibling, you are being supported in doing that, Aquarius. And then Mars, the ruler of the new moon, is transiting Gemini, which correlates to the third house. So that's the house. Gemini is the sign of learning, speaking, writing, communicating, siblings, all those third house things I just mentioned. That's happening for you in your fifth house of joy, luck, what we love to do, hobbies, our creative genius, our creative abilities, and that what we create with the talents that we were born with. And with Gemini on the fifth house, Aquarius, you have a gift and you have a special joy in communicating ideas, exchanging information with people, writing, speaking. You have a natural gift at that with that. And so the new moon in Aries and the ruler of the new moon in Gemini in the fifth house are combining those things. Writing for pleasure, fifth house, because you truly love to do it. Or starting a new business venture, third house, and something in an area that you love, or it could be as a hobby or in an area that you love. Those are both fifth house things. So it can manifest in any number of ways, but know that you're being supported in doing that by the universe. Then you have the fire grand trine at 24 degrees happening in houses 3, 7, and 11 for you on April 14th. Now, these are the houses that correspond to the air element of concepts, of abstract concepts and ideas, and the exchange of information with others. So this is a wonderful time to write or speak about any ideas that you have. Your ability to grasp concepts and communicate those concepts is going to be heightened. It'll be just like you've got a silver tongue, I think is what they call it. And you're going to be able to communicate and sell those ideas to other people. Because remember, the 3rd, 7th, and 11th houses are about exchanging ideas with other people, doing business with other people, forming relationships, and gathering an audience. So you are just, your ability to communicate your ideas is just going to be off the charts. Then you have the full moon at 29 degrees of Libra in the 9th house on April 19th. This is the second full moon. We had one at 0 degrees of Libra in March. This is a second chance at completion regarding a Libra theme of harmonious balance in our one-to-one relationships, equality, diplomacy in our lives, in the area of the 9th house for you. And the 9th house is related to our belief systems. Are our belief systems balanced? Are they fair? Our purpose in life, our vision in life, is it balanced? If you have Libra, I remember someone told me once that the house with Libra on the cusp shows what you're really married to. So for Aquarius, you're married to your belief system. I can see that for Aquarius. And yeah, is it a good marriage? Are your beliefs serving you? Are they doing you any good? You have to think about that. And you may find, because the 9th house represents rules our religious beliefs. So it rules churches, it rules places of higher education, different cultures, travel to long distance travel, metaphysical studies. So it can manifest anywhere there. It also rules gurus. Our teachers in life are the 9th house. And so you may form a relationship with some new teacher. It can manifest like that. And then the full moon, which rules the full moon. I'm getting a lot of notifications on my computer. The full moon, which rules Venus and Pisces, which rules this full moon in Libra, it's happening in your 2nd house. So there's some kind of, it's in conjunct the full moon in your 9th house. And in conjunct always indicates some kind of adjustment that needs to be made between those two areas of your psyche, those two areas of your life. 2nd house is our self-worth, our values, our possessions. That includes money, talents, our possessions and resources, and how much we value ourselves as well. It has a lot to do with our self-worth. So, maybe there's likely some kind of adjustment that needs to be made, some incongruency regarding your belief system and your self-worth, your beliefs about your self-worth. And Venus in Pisces, Pisces is a sign that has to do with belief and faith, and it also has to do with surrender, sacrifice, and letting go. So there may be some kind of sacrifice or surrendering that is needed regarding second house issues, values, resources, your estimation of your worth. There may be some kind of sacrifice that is needed to take full advantage of this full moon in the ninth house. It can just be like maybe you're too pessimistic regarding your values or what you value in life, or how much you value yourself. And Libra, the full moon in Libra in the ninth house, is saying we need a more balanced view of life, and your faith in the universe is, it could be, we need a more balanced view in your view of the world. The ninth house is your overall view in the world. So something that perhaps is no longer serving you needs to be sacrificed or surrendered from, related to the second house, your second house beliefs. Or it can manifest in a number of ways, but it would definitely have to do with those two themes. So that is it. Oh, there's one more thing. Sun conjunct Uranus at 2 degrees of Taurus is happening in your fourth house of family, land, real estate, your emotional well-being. Sun conjunct Uranus always represents stimulation of some kind, a desire to break free, rebel from the established order. And for you can expect the unexpected on that day, April 22nd, related to, something to do with your home or any land that you own or your family. It could have something to do with one of your parents as well. So, it can be something as simple as expecting to spend the day at home. I think it's Easter. No, it's not Easter Sunday. It can be something as simple as like expecting to spend the day at home or to spend the day with your family, but something changes, or you can expect to like go to work that day and something changes and you have to spend that time with your family. I don't know. Or it could be some kind of emotional revelation, because the fourth house is a very emotional, psychological house as well. That sort of strikes you out of the blue, very Uranus. So that is it for you, Aquarius. Very fun month, a month to create. Write down those ideas that you're having. This is a month of creation, third, fifth house with you, and a month of learning to let go. So that is it for you, Aquarius. Enjoy the month.